Welcome back to the channel. My name is Melanie and I am super jazzed to be here as always. Isn't this the best cup? In part 2 of my Pagan Plan With Me series, I showed you guys my tarot spread in my bullet journal. Today I'm going to show you how I pulled those cards and how I like to go about doing a year forecast. I'm going to walk you through some of the tools that I use and just my personal way of doing tarot. Now, the cards that I pull are for me specifically, and I don't actually get into the meanings of them, but I do walk you through how I set up my kind of temporary altar, how I prepare my cards and myself to do a intense, lots of cards kind of reading, which these forecasts tend to be. I'm also excited to show you guys how I incorporated my oracle cards. That's something that I am doing new in 2021 and I haven't done before. I'm not someone that uses tarot in a predicting sense very often. There are a lot of people out there who are professional card slingers and make very accurate and awesome predictions using tarot, but for me, I have always used the cards more as a wise best friend to give me more insight or a better lay of the land with the things going on in my life. And I only really do predictions when it comes to my year forecast. In my bullet journal, I'll take the card of the month and then I will expand upon it during each of my monthly spreads. I tend to leave an area where I can make notes on how this energy has unfolded throughout the month, and I can reflect upon the dynamics I might have gained insight into with the tarot cards. To check out all of the other videos in my Pagan Plan With Me, there will be links in the cards as well as in the description below, so I do encourage you to check that out. Like I mentioned already, this is just how I use tarot. I am a firm believer that if you take a divination tool and apply your own rules and your own kind of spin on it, you're going to get great results for yourself. There are a lot of people out there that will tell you there are right ways and wrong ways to do certain things. I just don't agree with that. If you just want to pull a card a day, you want to read only reversals, it really doesn't matter how you use the tarot. It's a really big and daunting and kind of complicated divination system, so I really suggest just sinking your teeth into it, starting and seeing where it takes you naturally. For me, doing year-long tarot forecasts has really broadened my use of tarot and has really helped me dive deep into the card's meanings. When the month comes up, I get to take that card, dissect all of the different energies at play. I get to see the themes and how it unfolds in real life and what that energy and those archetypes look like in my life and in everyday life. I find it really helps my study of the tarot cards and helps me learn more about their energy and their archetype and what that looks like in our 21st century. I find tarot can be a little bit dated in the way we think about it, so it really helps me to have a card for an entire month so I can look at those energetic themes over a long period of time. I'm new to tarot, and it's something that I think takes a dedicated and consistent practice in order for a good understanding to develop. This is why I do a card a month, because it gives me enough time to really sit with those energies and to really look at what that might mean for me. I would highly recommend doing a yearly spread if it's not something that you have done before. I think it's a great way to spend more time with the cards themselves, and it's an awesome kind of fun ritual to bring in the new year with. Let's head over to my bed where I pull tarot. I chose to use my Rider-Waite deck for my 2020 tarot forecast because it is kind of my go-to classic deck for a variety of reasons. This deck is what a lot of the more contemporary and modern style tarot decks are based off of, so the symbolisms and color correspondences used in this deck are considered to be quite classic and fundamental. When I'm doing a spread that covers a long period of time, it's this kind of classic deck that I'm looking for because it always delivers a very consistent message to me and is something that I can always relate to no matter when I am reading the spread again. Along with pulling a tarot card per month for 2021, I wanted to pull an oracle card that would cover each season and encompass 3 months. I was excited to incorporate oracle cards because I find that they lend a little bit of a lighter approach to sometimes serious and daunting topics that can be represented in the tarot. This oracle deck, as you can see, is extremely gorgeous and based off Alice in Wonderland, and I find the information and guidance provided very integratable and very digestible, so I'm very excited to see how these cover long-lasting energies that cover full seasons in 2021. Once I've chosen the decks that I'm going to be using, I head over to my bed and set the stage. I'm not someone who typically feels the need to set up temporary altars for small divination ceremonies, but when I'm doing something that involves an entire year forecast and I am really getting into divination, I do like to set a little bit of a stage. Nothing crazy, just a few candles, some vanilla incense, representation for the 5 elements. I like to have my plants, some sage for cleansing, and of course my actual tools like a journal to record my tarot spreads in, as well as a candle snuffer so that I can put my candles out. I also like to have my beads. These are a new addition to my practice, but whenever I put them on, I just like to imagine myself embodying the badass forest witch vibes that I have longed to feel more connected to, so I wear them as much as I possibly can now. I do want to say, yes, I do tarot in my bed. I know that when I do tarot, I'm going to be here for a while, so I really value feeling comfortable when I sit down to do something like this. I start by cleansing my decks. I am not very avid on this step, and if you've watched any of my previous videos, you might know that already. I just do this as a ceremonious act to wipe the slate clean in the individual tools I'm using, but as well as in myself and the space that I'm occupying while I'm doing any kind of ritual or divination, and sometimes even meditations. I'm not strict on when I cleanse my equipment or my space or myself. I do it when I feel like it, and that's good enough for me. You do you. Because this is a bit of a ceremonious tarot spread for me, and I do it every year, it is one of the times where I will choose to draw sigils on myself. I'm not going to explain what these sigils represent, why I'm drawing them, or anything like that, but know that there are many steps throughout doing tarot that you can add additional forms of magic to amplify your experience, your intentions, and what you're trying to get from your tarot readings. See to the ground and don't fear anything. Once my space is cleansed, my tools are cleansed, my sigils are drawn, I am just about ready to start my 2021 tarot forecast. Before I start shuffling and pulling cards though, I will light my vanilla incense and I will set my intention and inform my decks what I am expecting of them. So in this example, I am asking for guidance for the months to come in 2021. I think it's really important to make sure that you take the time to set the rules of any tarot reading. What I mean by that is, are you going to be accepting reversals? Do you have the book you are intending to record your reading in? Just get the logistics out of the way so that you can really sink into a meditative space when you are drawing your cards. Hear what's coming next. For me, my rules are simple. I shuffle until I get one card that falls out willingly for each month. If a card is reversed, then it indicates a more restrictive and challenging period, or sometimes the more negative manifestation or representation of the card's energies. Because I'm newer to using tarot in a forecast and future predicting sense, I don't often incorporate reversals, and I will most likely ignore them in other spreads. This is the first year that I will be reading reversals as the challenging or more negative manifestations of a card's energy. In 2021, one of my major focuses is living more seasonally. This is why I chose to organize my year via the seasons. In order to do this successfully and more uniformly, I decided to start my 2021 bullet journal in December 2020. This is why you'll see that I only pulled 11 tarot cards for 2021. I am pulling over December 2020's tarot card to start my bullet journal and my calendar for 2021 at the beginning of December in the middle of the winter. I chose to do this because this provided 3 months in each of the 4 seasons. I'm really excited to be sharing my bullet journal because it is such a great crossover between my pagan practice and my joy for stationery and schedule keeping. If you would like to see how I am incorporating the concepts of living more seasonally, check out the other Pagan Plan With Me videos in the description below. December 2020's card that I'm pulling over was the Six of Wands, leaving us to start January 2021 with the Lover's card. February, Two of Pentacles. March, Temperance reversed. April, Queen of Pentacles. May, the Star. June, Page of Cups. July, the World. August, Page of Pentacles. September, Reversed Magician. October, Ten of Swords reversed. November, Two of Swords. I set these tarot cards aside to be recorded later on once I've pulled my oracle cards for the seasons. Just like before I pulled my tarot, I set my intention for this spread and asked the cards to give me guidance for the seasons of 2021. Winter of 2021. Spring of 2021. Summer of 2021. And fall of 2021. If you would like to see how I record these oracle cards and this tarot spread in my 2021 bullet journal, check out the description below where I link to my Pagan Plan With Me playlist. In there, you will find a video on my planning process, my name and date page, as well as my tarot forecast page. I will also be posting my lunar calendar page and my moon tracking page, so you will have access to all of my yearly 2021 pages. Winter of 2021's oracle card is Wake Up, followed by Spring's reversed Shine Bright Like a Candle. Summer 2021, Who in the World Are You? Last but not least, the fall of 2021, Follow the White Rabbit. A very magical way to end the year, I would say. Now that I have all of my cards pulled, I will take a moment to record my tarot spread and the oracle cards for the seasons in my tarot journal. This is where I record just written documentation of all of the tarot spreads that I ever do, whether they are tarot pulls of the day. I just like to have black and white documentation so that I can track the tarot spreads or predictions I make. This is the very stationary version of tracking. I also make my tarot forecast spread in my bullet journal. I'll link to the video where I show that in the cards above and the description below, like I mentioned before. While my bullet journal is a lot more embellished and beautiful, this is what I would consider the hard copy, a very important part of my practice. Once I finished recording all of my cards, I say a little bit of a gratitude prayer. I think about all of the fun and exciting things I get to call in the year to come. I thank the spirits, the guides, the elements, and anything else that showed up to help me and hold space. Put out the candles, and I'm done. Thank you so much for watching my tarot spread, guys. I am a little nervous to be sharing this with you because there are a lot of people on the internet that will tell you the right and the wrong way to do something, so it's a little bit nerve-wracking to share something that I consider quite personal out here on the internet space for forever, but new year, new me. I hope you enjoyed or got some inspiration or some insight on how you might want to be pulling tarot or what a year forecast might look like for you. If you haven't checked out my pagan plan with me, where I show you guys my spread that I do in my bullet journal with these cards, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can take a look at how I paint a whole page and make it really kind of extra and pretty. Because the internet is a place of lots of expectations, I do feel the need to tell you that you don't have to do any of this to have a successful, good tarot reading. I don't even think you need to be good at tarot to use tarot. I'm no expert card slinger. I don't do this professionally. This is just part of my personal practice. So I do encourage you to be brave and be bold and to pick up a deck and just try. It is complicated and there's a lot of things that you can learn in tarot, so even if you consider the messages that you get from the tarot cards simple or not profound, or you don't understand how they apply to your life now, I do encourage you to look back on the month that you had and see how that card's energy might have shown up in subtle ways or in ways that you weren't expecting. I'm having so much fun with this pagan plan with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed following along in my journaling process and kind of the more paper side of my pagan practice. I would love to hear from you guys if you do tarot forecasts. Do you do a tarot card a month? I am really excited to see how the oracle cards per season plays out. It's something a little bit different, and I am excited to give myself the space to study larger energetic themes over a longer period of time. Dividing the year into the seasons really allows me to do that. One season covers at least 3 months, so to be able to study one oracle card over the course of 3 months is a very big deep dive into that kind of energy at play. So I'm excited to play around with that, and I will definitely keep you guys posted on how the oracle cards turn out. You never know, when you try something new, it could suck. I could not notice the energetic themes at all. They could be totally irrelevant. But I think if there's one thing we learned from 2020, it's that you really just kind of roll with the punches. Looking back on my 2020 forecast, I definitely did not see the cards manifesting the way that they did, but they are still very applicable and provided great insight and some guidance for me along the way. So I do recommend doing a year forecast. Write it down in a notebook or take a photo of it. That's a great way to record it as well if you don't want to do the whole arduous process of writing out the tarot cards afterwards. Depending how busy the year goes, I might be sharing some of my monthly spreads along the way. Let me know in the comments below if you're interested in seeing those. That's it, my friends. I hope you ring in the new year with a bunch of love and laughter and all of the good juju that you can. I know that 2020 hit us hard, so buckle in and we will see what 2021 brings. Live long and prosper. I love you. I'll see you next time. Like the video, hit subscribe, talk to me below. La da 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 da. Mwah. Bye-bye, so long, farewell,